guys, welcome to Bring Back the Girls. I'm so happy to have you here today. So today we are going to be doing a little Q&A in a room that some of you might recognize. I'm back home because I am moving out of my childhood home. So I'm back from graduate school. I just finished my first year. It's very exciting, and now I'm on break for a little bit and I'm helping my parents move out. We have the cheer sport. This is my old childhood bedroom. Everything kind of looks the same, which is a little creepy, but we're packing her up. But I asked on my Instagram, Bring Back the Girls, you should go follow it if you don't follow it already. I asked if you guys had any questions for me because it's been too long since I've posted a video because I'm so sorry, finals. But I'm back and I'm ready to answer some questions. So let's get right into it. I got a lot of great ones. So the first question that I saw the most was, would I coach? And the answer to that is maybe. It's not out of the question. I'm not really up to date with most of the new cheer rules and all that, so I'd have to brush up on a few things if I were to go back and coach. I would definitely do it if there was a time, would be next year during my externship as like a little side job. So wherever I end up for that, I could see myself possibly looking for a place to coach and maybe do like privates and stuff. Not out of the question. I don't know if I could handle a full team with as an audiology student, but never say never. Can you talk about the tryout process for STARS? Is there an interview? Is it true that there's an interview? I'll go from the view of you're at the gym for a couple of years and you get an invitation. So during World Cup awards night, they hand out invitations to the gym. So if your name is called, you get an invitation to the gym, to Shooting Stars. And then you, I want to say like next week, go right into tryouts. And I forget the length of period tryouts is. I want to say it's like a week process. Oh, and you're assigned a number. After every tryout day, they'll send out an email. And if your number is not on that email list, is not on the list, then you did not make STARS. And it just keeps going until the end of tryouts. And then after that, they hand out the Shooting Star folders. The last couple of days, you have like these groups, and they have Elaine, Joelle, all the coaches sit at a table. You stand in a line, and then each girl comes up, and you do like your jumps, and the next girl does their jumps, and then your standing tumbling specialty, and then you go to the corner, you throw your best pass for them. And then after that, you also do the dance that you learned at the beginning of tryouts for them. I believe that then leads into the interview section after. So they ask you, see, it's hard because I did not get an invitation to Shooting Stars. I was put onto the team halfway through the year. So my questions when I was trying out were just like, what are your goals for next year? How are you going to be a leader? I know the interviews are very important. Like Elaine and Joelle take that very seriously because you're representing STARS, you're representing their gym. So you need to be polished and make sure that you have very clear, well thought out answers. And anyways, after that whole scary process is done, you're given a folder and it says, congratulations, you've made Shooting Stars. Who were some of your funniest teammates? Cassie Osher was so funny. I loved her on the team. She always just brought so much energy, and she was always just a light during practice. Even if things were not going well that day, you could always count on her to be like a little light to go to. Gub was always so much fun, especially hyping us up before competitions. Yeah, so Julia was sister Jackie. I don't know her last name now because she's married. I'm so sorry, Jackie. Love you lots though, but you were so funny. Oh, Jordan Caford was hilarious. We had some fun stars. I had like a bad day at school. I would show up to practice and they would always put a smile on my face. Favorite sport to watch other than cheer? Before I started rowing, I would say gymnastics. I feel like that's every cheerleader's answer is gymnastics because I love watching all their skills that they throw. I love the floor routines. And then rowing, that's just because I rode in college and high school. Did you prefer flipping the pyramid or just bracing other girls? I want to say like flipping was my favorite, but when I actually think about it, I did not like flipping at all. I feel like a lot of flyers can understand this when you are learning the pyramid and you're first throwing those skills as a flipper, and they're just like, all right, you're gonna have to stand up on this person's hand and twist and then waterfall down into people's hands, and you're like, we're gonna do that right now, and they're like, yep, and they just like toss you, and you have to figure out where you are. It's kind of terrifying. Over time it gets easier because muscle memory, but I remember pyramids were not always my favorite when I had to flip. And I understood that, you know, I was tinier when I was younger, so that was my job, but I just remember being scared. It's all new stuff, and they're literally just tossing you and seeing what works. I was always caught. I think there was like maybe 2 occasions where I fell, you know, and no one caught me, which is pretty good for the amount of years that I cheered. So definitely I preferred bracing. Hardest skill for you to get / maintain. I've said this before, I loved whips. They were my favorite thing to do. I think when I was competing, it had to be so perfect in order for me to throw the double out of it that it would sometimes be iffy for me to maintain that skill when I was performing it. But I want to say like my last couple of years, it got better, but at the beginning, it was not the most consistent skill that I had. Favorite body position? A needle. I think that my needle was my best body position as a flyer. Were you still considered a perfectionist as a shooting star as described in the Twinkle documentary? I don't know what Elaine and Joelle think. I definitely have the mentality of like everything needs to be perfect. I think when I got to stars at the beginning, from like 2013 all the way till like 2015, put a lot of pressure on myself, so maybe my perfectionist tendencies came out during that period. I just felt like because I was so young, I had a lot to prove. I don't know if I was labeled as that. That's like more of a Elaine and Joelle question. Because I want to say no, I was not, but I could definitely see like I would constantly go in the gym and whenever we did mark throughs, we would have to do the stunt all the time because I needed to be perfect. So maybe I did carry it with me. But I feel like 2016 and 2017, I started to mature more, and yes, I still had those tendencies, but they were not as heightened like on Twinkles and maybe my beginning years on Stars. Can you describe Elaine and Joelle's coaching styles? Yeah, they are definitely a dynamic duo, as we all know. They are the most iconic coaches in the industry. I'll start with Joelle. Joelle, I would describe her as like a tough love kind of coach. You know, if you're not hitting that practice, she's going to say something about it. But, you know, right after practice, she's gonna come up and give you a hug and tell you, like, great job. She would be more outspoken than Miss P. Miss P would be more reserved in her coaching. Like, say if you weren't hitting, instead of, you know, Joelle maybe shouting from you from the bench, Elaine would actually take the stunt group to the side with like Parky or Bucky and actually like talk through like what's going on with the stunt and give her insight of what she was seeing from the outside. Kind of the vibe that I got. She was very just more calm. Like, this is what I'm seeing here. We need to clean this section up because X, Y, and Z. So she was more like oriented. Joelle was more like, we got to get this done. More upfront. And more blunt about what she was seeing. So they were a great balance of each other, and that's how they create the best Stars routines, in my opinion. Did you prefer stunting or tumbling? Also, which do you prefer to watch? This is a hard question. I love stunting. I used to go back and forth on this, but stunting was what got me into cheer and what made me fall in love with sport, like performing in the air, making my own moves, being able to improve my flexibility, my skill set. I just loved flying, like looking back, just being able to do my own thing and work with my stunt group and come up with strategies in order to be the best stunt group we could be. Like, that just was so special to me. Tumbling, I was great because I improved, like literally had a mental block and then was able to get all these incredible skills. But something about flying will always just hold a special place in my heart. My favorite thing to watch, I'll go with tumbling because, oh my god, the skills are incredible now. What other large little girl team did you like the most when you were younger? Oh, this is hard because it changed each year, honestly. Like, I was obsessed with F5. Like, when I was in 2011, I was doing bed pyramids to like, F5 never quits, never falls, and always rises above it all. Don't be, like, so good. And then I remember when I was on the team my very first year, like Panthers, when they got into the division, I was like, Panthers are incredible. Like, they were so cool. Yeah, we'll go with Panthers and F5 were my favorite when I was younger. What was your least favorite competition? UCA. Okay, that's just for me. I think UCA is a great competition. Top Gun goes to it, World Cup still goes to it because you get to practice the world's warm-up and perform at the world's venue. So I think for that purpose it's great, but I never really had too many great performances there myself. Like, I fell for the first time on stars there, I fell on my face there. So UCA, not my favorite, but I did love going to the parks after. Was it hard balancing school and cheer? Yeah, I overbooked myself because I also did cheer and crew. So crew was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then cheer was Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. And I would be doing my homework in the car, like for the hour drive, and then doing homework back in the car, and then studying when I got home. I had a great work ethic, but I just remember, like, it was hard for me to wake up in the morning sometimes because I was just so run down. I don't know how I did it. I was actually running on Duncan. That's what I was doing. Favorite stars dance? Fashionista. My dream team? Lady Bullets. How has cheer changed your life? It changed my life in a multitude of ways. I think it made me a more confident person. I was a very shy child when I first started cheer, like very reserved. I equate that to being a part of a gym and a team that was surrounded by strong women. You know, not all of it was sunshines and rainbows, I'm not saying that. It also provided me a lot of challenges that I had to overcome and made me into the person that I am today. Like, I had to stand up for myself in a lot of situations, and I think I've carried that with me and those skills throughout my life, like getting into college, getting job positions. So it's changed my life in so many ways, and I'm very grateful for it. This is not a cheerleading question, but I want to answer it. How did you get into running? So when I was at college, I saw a lot of people running on the trail, and I said, you know what, that seems like fun. I'm gonna put on my favorite playlist and run, and I thought I was going to die after running for 3 minutes. Then I just started running. Run to one song, walk to the next song to build up some stamina. It was a great exercise to get outside, and I kind of just fell in love with, like, it kind of like cheer. You could push yourself. So, like, push yourself to get another skill. Like, I was pushing myself to get a certain time and distance. I met a whole community, kind of like cheerleading. So that's how I kind of got into it. And then I started signing up for races and, like, cheerleading, get a medal after. Running became my cheerleading as I grew up. So if you have any more questions, you can definitely DM me too, because I could talk a lot about running. Besides stars, what lag would you want to be on? Probably Panthers. If you could go back to any point in your cheer journey, where would you go and why? Okay, I'll answer this 2 times. I would go back to my first year on stars just to relive that period and really kind of like soak it in a bit more and appreciate that I was so young on the team and I had so much to look forward to, and also to be not as shy as I was. Like, yeah, I was so young and I was surrounded by girls, but I wish I was more outspoken during that time too. My first competition with stars ever was cheer sport. And what I would do to, like, step on the floor again with that Stars uniform and just, like, perform with my dream team for the first time ever would be such a surreal moment. So that, and then honestly, like, the beginning of my senior year, to go back and just appreciate my last couple of practices with stars that I didn't know I had, is what I would go back to. What was your worst year on World Cup? I don't want to say I had any like a worst year, but I definitely had a really challenging year, and that was 2015. I felt that year I had a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, and I was a little overwhelmed. And I've talked about this in previous videos, so I won't go too much into it, but it was just a strange, year for me. It was my third year on stars. I was like a veteran, and I was center flyer. I was gaining skills, but I was also growing too. And I just felt very overwhelmed. And then we also won Worlds, but I also wasn't happy with that year, but we still won. So it was very confusing for my little 15-year-old mind. So that was a challenging year for myself, but it got better. The last question is, what was your favorite stars routine to be in or watch? I mean, 2017, but 2017 and 2014 was my favorite to be in. Favorite to watch, honestly, is the Fashionista year. So good. Like, it's about the hair, the style, the makeup. Oh, it's so good. I would watch that routine over and over again. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love doing the Q&A videos, so I will definitely be doing some more. But we have our next guest coming up soon. I'm so excited for you to see who we have on next. That should be coming out in a week or two, but I will keep you guys in the loop. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all, and I will see you so soon. Bye, guys.